Alex Highsmith says all the right things. And should we be concerned about Najee Harris's involvement in the running back Zoom meeting? Big Deke News. So obviously Alex Highsmith signed his 4-year/5-year, however you want to put it, extension with the Steelers last week. But yesterday was the first time we heard from him since then because the team held a press conference with Highsmith. And here's what he had to say he's looking to improve on for the upcoming season and what to expect from him now that he's got the new contract.
The coaching staff, everybody, just like I said, I love being here, and I feel like, year by year, I've continued to get better. I know that my best ball is in front of me, and even last year, I felt like I could have played way better last year. Just more sacks, more caused fumbles, just more havoc in general, and just playing better details. I just going back and watching my film. There's so many little things that I could have done better, watching different rushes, and I could have finished so many more sacks last year that I had. And so just being more overall, just focusing more on the details, and just I feel like this offseason, I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger and faster this year. I've been working out with Cam this offseason, so that's been pretty cool.
I'd say that's music to the ears. You mean to tell me you're coming off a 14.5 sack season and also leading the league in forced fumbles, but you feel like you left more out there? It got me thinking, is there a serious chance that in the time period that is Alex Highsmith's prime and also TJ Watt's prime, that they could both post 20 sacks? Would that be the first time that ever happened in NFL history? Get your popcorn ready, because there might be a chance. TJ already posted 22.5, Highsmith 14.5. Felt like he left some out there. Feel like the interior D-line is going to be solid. It's going to open up things for both those edge rushers, so we'll see. But Alex also discussed his goals and what his focus is coming up here. And just like the other Steeler players we've heard from this offseason, the goal is really one thing and one thing only.
I think the number one goal is just the Super Bowl. We got to get back to that, and we know everyone in this locker room has the goal of not only getting to it but winning it. And so I think that's just the number one and only goal for me, is just doing whatever I can to help us get to that.
You could tell me I'm wrong, but I'm really thinking the vibes are there with this team. It feels like everyone knows their role. It's a good mix of veterans and young talented players. There's no drama. There's no contract issues. And it feels like everyone's mentality and focus is really on getting this Super Bowl. Because as I mentioned, Highsmith hasn't been the only one that has made it clear and has not shied away from making sure we're holding up that Lombardi. Now you may be thinking, come on, Deke. Don't be naive. What the hell else were they going to say doing these media interviews? Obviously, they're going to say they want to win the Super Bowl, right?
These guys called me to win the Super Bowl, not for the toilet bowl.
But I feel like they actually meant it, because we are still supposedly in this rebuild. Last year was year one of the rebuild. We still went 9-8, almost made the playoffs. But I feel like it could be easy to say, like, yeah, we're just taking a step at a time. First goal here is to make the playoffs or win the division, and then we take it from there. But they're saying already, with a quarterback going into year two, all those young offensive weapons, Super Bowl. Like, everyone, the young players and the older players, like, I feel like they really understand the window that we have here and how good this team can really be. Because we're talking about the defense being top 5. We're talking about this offense improving from that second half stretch that they went on in 2022. We witnessed that formula firsthand back in 2005. We saw it last year with the Eagles, where they went, what was it, like, was it 9-8? And they made the playoffs, lost in the first round to the Buccaneers, but then ended up being the best team in the NFC. Jalen Hurts made that jump. They had a really solid defense, good pass rushers. Their O-line was good. Young offensive weapons. Now, we don't have to do it exactly like the Eagles, but the template is there. But now, switching topics, we got more running back talk. We still want to discuss this. There was a Zoom meeting held just a couple days ago by a bunch of the running backs around the league, hosted by Austin Eckler, and Najee Harris was reportedly a part of it. I don't think it should be a surprise to anyone, because Najee has voiced his displeasure with the running back market, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. I completely get it. It feels like the running backs are getting the short end of the stick when they are due for their second contracts. But it still is what it is. I talked about how I don't blame the organizations for thinking this way. Just sucks all around. But the reason I wanted to talk about this briefly is yesterday, my co-host from the Arthur Moats Experience with the podcast, you may know him, Arthur Moats, posed a question to me, wondering if we should be concerned Najee Harris is a part of this meeting. And my response was no, and for a couple reasons. One, because I don't think Najee's beef is with the Steelers, or at least will be when contract negotiations come up. I think it's more against the NFL and just the landscape of the running back market, because whatever the Steelers offer Najee, I don't think it's going to be too far off from what his market would be across the league. Now, I could be wrong on that. My estimate is I actually do think the Steelers would do right by Najee, or at least give him a respectable deal and not completely lowball him. I think they do value him. They drafted him in the first round for a reason. And with them already going through the Le'Veon Bell situation 4 or 5 years ago, I could see them not wanting to do a whole repeat of that. So if Najee Harris has as good of a season as I think he will coming up, the Steelers will value him. That's just my take on this. Like, he is a certain style of running back that is not too common. It's him, Derrick Henry. Like we talked about this yesterday. Him, Derrick Henry, A.J. Dillon. How many other power backs are out there in this league? Combine a Najee Harris with Jaylen Warren. That's a really good running back tandem. And with us getting back to that bruiser mentality, Steeler football, run the ball first, like, Najee will be an asset. I get that the most logical case for this argument is it's okay. If he wants too much, we'll just let him walk. We'll draft a running back who's younger, fresher, and may even be better in the first, second, or third round in the draft. And I've already talked about that. That's one of the reasons why the running back market is the way it is. I mean, it makes logical sense to go that way. But just something's telling me the Steelers do value Najee Harris and what he brings to the team. The physicality in the backfield, I think leadership in the locker room, just the fact that we drafted him in the first round, and that he's a different style of runner out there that could be an awesome complement, could be an awesome tandem with a Jaylen Warren. And with us just being focused on running the ball, I think, in the near future here, Najee Harris will be a good guy to keep around. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think the Steelers do? What would you do, too? Like, I'm not even saying this is the smartest move. I think it is one I would make if the number's reasonable. We're talking about Najee potentially getting 8.5 for a fifth-year option. That seems a little high, but if the Steelers can offer him a multi-year deal around like 6.5, 7 per year, I think that can make sense, especially with Pickett still being on his rookie deal. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts about, because this is the hot topic still. We're coming up on training camp. I don't know if the running back topic is going to die down, but we'll see. But also your thoughts on Highsmith and his press conference. I don't know if you guys checked it out yesterday, but if you have anything additional to add, let me know down in the comments. Stay chilling on a Tuesday, and peace.